Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on the channel again. Welcome back. This is going to be part 4 of the complete 2019 Blu-ray collection, one shelf at a time. Let's get straight to it. Okay then, so kicking off this shelf we have Blackmagic. This is one of the 88 Asia Films range release. Here we've got the instantly recognisable release from the MCU, Black Panther. Next up, we've got the Arrow release of the Black Society trilogy. This is a collection of films from director Takashi Miike. As you can see, there's Senjuku Triad Society, Rainy Dog, and Ley Lines. Even though these have been put together as a trilogy, they're much more a trilogy, like a thematic trilogy, rather than a continuous narrative. Next up, we've got the documentary Blackfish. Here we've got the fantastic film, the recent one from Spike Lee. This is Black Klansman. Here we've got the Blade trilogy. This was a US import. It's region free though. Ordered this one maybe 12 months ago at the most. And from WoW HD that was, still came with a slipcover. Here we've got another Arrow release. This is the Steelbook edition of Takashi Miike's Blade of the Immortal. Next up, we've got a pair of classics, the original Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, and then, of course, the recent sequel from Denis Villeneuve. This is Blade Runner 2049. Next up, we've got a 2-film box set of the original Blair Witch Project and the recent sequel Blair Witch, with the Book of Shadows film completely omitted, although that's probably for the best. Here we've got the classic 80s horror film The Blob. This, of course, is a remake of the 50s film, although a lot of people may argue that this is the superior film. Next up, we've got Michael Jai White starring in Blood and Bone, kicking ass as usual in this martial arts film. Here we've got the British film The Blood on Satan's Claw. Just thought I'd show you the inside artwork on this and the outer slip. It's quite inventive, quite different. Next up, we've got the Arrow Academy release of Bloody Spear at Mount Fuji. And then the Arrow video release of Brian De Palma's Blowout. Here we've got the Indicator release of the classic film Blue Collar. And then we've got the Third Window Films release of the Japanese film Blue Spring. Just thought I'd show you the slipcover with the alternative artwork on the inner cover. Next up, we've got the Wellgo USA release of the Chinese film The Bodyguard with the legendary Sammo Hung in it. And here we've got another release from 88 Films. This is from their Slasher Classics collection. This is The Bogeyman. Here we've got Bone Tomahawk. This is a great sort of Western horror. Very much looking forward to seeing Dragged Against Concrete, which is the new film from the same director. And here we've got The Boondock Saints, another Arrow release. Next up, we've got the Artificial Eye release of Borg vs. McEnroe. And here we've got another Indicator release. This is called Born of Fire. Here we've got the brilliant film The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. Next up, we've got a box set from the British director Danny Boyle. So with the director and actor box sets, I tend to organise them under the first letter of the surname. This is why it's under B for Boyle. Great box set, this one anyway. I got it dead cheap at the time, probably like about £6 or something, which was a bargain. As you can see, 4 great films. There's 127 Hours, 28 Days Later, Sunshine, and Slumdog Millionaire. Okay, next up we've got another Arrow release. This is a Japanese film called Branded to Kill from the great director Seijun Suzuki. And then next up we've got Brave. This is a Disney Pixar release. And that one is followed by The Brave Archer. Just thought I'd show you the different artwork on the slipcover that came with this one. Another release from the 88 Films Asia range. Then of course we've got the classic film Braveheart. Then we've got another release from the director S. Craig Zahler, who directed Bone Tomahawk. This one is Brawl in Cell Block 99. Really enjoyed this one. Here we've got the absolute iconic masterpiece that is Breakfast at Tiffany's. And then next up we've got another 88 Asia film release. This one is called The Bride from Hell. Sorry about the glare on that one. Here we've got a Criterion release. This is a Taiwanese film by director Edward Yang. It's called A Brighter Summer Day. This is quite flat out an amazing film. You should definitely watch it if you've never seen it. Next up there's another Arrow release. This of course is called Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. This has had a re-release very recently, but this is the original from a few years ago with the slipcover. Okay, this next film is a Chinese film called The Brink. This one is an import directly from China. It is region A locked, but it does have English subtitles. I believe this one's getting a release from Wellgo USA, so that'll probably be region free to anyone without a multi-region player. Decent martial arts film though. Next up we've got Broken Arrow. This is one of the better American-made John Woo films in my opinion. Next up we've got a French film called Brotherhood of the Wolf. This is really, really good. You should definitely try and seek this one out because I don't think it's a particularly well known about film. It's really entertaining though. Okay, got another release from Third Window Films here. This is the Japanese film Bullet Ballet from director Shinya Tsukamoto. Sorry about the glare on the cover there. This one was fairly cheap pickup. It's Stallone's relatively recent film, Bullet to the Head. Next up we've got a great director box set here from Studio Canal. This is part of the works of the director Louis Buñuel. So just to try and show you a little bit of the artwork that comes with this box set, there's 7 films included here. So you've got some of his absolute classics, so starting with Diary of a Chambermaid, then of course there's the very famous Belle de Jour, we've got The Milky Way, Tristiana, the discreet charm of the bourgeoisie, the Phantom of Liberty, and then finally we've got a film called That Obscure Object of Desire. Okay, so moving on, we've got the this is another Arrow release. This is the Steelbook edition of the classic film The Burbs. And then we've got another film from the distributor 88 Films. This one's called Burial Ground from the Italian collection. This is a great zombie film. This one was released in the UK under a different name on DVD. I think it was just called The Zombie Dead. Correct me if I'm wrong there, that might be a different one, but I'm pretty sure it was this one. The original title, as you can see below, is La Notte del Terror. Next up, we've got a brilliant release from Eureka, the Masters of Cinema series. This, of course, is The Burmese Harp, a classic from the Japanese director Kon Ichikawa. Okay, and last but not least, on shelf number 4, this is another Arrow release. It's a steelbook version of The Burning, the classic slasher film from the 80s. Okay then folks, so thank you very much for watching. That about wraps things up. We're still in the B titles at the moment, although that will be changing as we get onto the next shelf. So I will be recording it very soon, but please join me for shelf 5, and thank you very much for watching my video.